My friend Marco spent 4 years, on and off, trying to fix his jawline. Diet, Mewing app on his phone, a jawline exerciser he bought at 2 a.m. that looked like a torture device for gum. Zero visible change to his bone structure. Then 1 week, completely by accident, he started making eye contact for an extra second before looking away. Same jaw, same face, same guy. Suddenly, he's the one people remember from the party. That's not a coincidence. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly why. Here's the thing. Nobody tells you about attractiveness. It's not one score. It's 3 separate systems your brain runs in sequence. And most guys spend their entire lives maxing out the one that matters least. Structure, character, expression. Get the order wrong, and you can have a perfect jaw and still get read as the guy standing alone by the snack table. Get it right, and average features start punching way above their weight. Let's go one at a time, and I'll flag where the science is actually solid versus where the internet is just making stuff up for views. Factor 1, structure. Factor 1 is what researchers call sexual dimorphism. Basically, how strongly your face signals, this guy went through puberty and it showed. Angular jaw, visible brow ridge, low facial fat so the bone structure isn't buried under a soft focus filter your face didn't ask for. Here's the fact check. This effect is real, but it's not as universal as looks maxing TikTok wants you to believe. Preference for masculine features actually shifts depending on context. Some studies find women rate softer, less dimorphic faces as more trustworthy for long-term partners, and more dimorphic faces higher only in specific short-term contexts. It's a real signal. It's not a cheat code. What actually works, with decent evidence behind it, dropping body fat percentage. That's it. That's the whole trick. You don't need bone structure surgery. You need to stop having a facial fat layer thick enough to insulate a house. Sleep and hydration also visibly reduce facial puffiness within days, which is the fastest jawline hack that actually exists and costs $0. Mewing, on the other hand. Sorry to the mewing guys. The actual orthodontic evidence for adult jaw remodeling is thin at best. Most dentists will tell you it does roughly nothing measurable past your growth years. If it makes you sit up straighter and stop mouth breathing, great, keep doing it. Just don't expect a new face by Tuesday. That's factor 1. Real. Trainable in one specific way. Wildly overhyped in every other way. Quick gut check before we move on. If you've spent more time researching jawline exercises than you have on your actual sleep schedule, you've been optimizing the wrong variable. Sleep debt shows up on your face faster than 4 years of chewing gum ever will. Factor 2. Character. Marco, by the way, has a nose that takes a hard left turn about halfway down. For years, he hated it. Then a woman he was dating told him it was the first thing she noticed about him. In a good way. He didn't believe her. She was right. This is factor 2. Charm, or what researchers sometimes frame through the averageness effect, gone slightly in reverse. Perfectly average, perfectly symmetrical faces score well in lab studies, where people rate static photos of strangers. But real-world memorability runs on the opposite fuel, the small asymmetries that make a face specific instead of interchangeable. Fact check on this one. The too perfect is creepy effect is a real documented phenomenon, closely related to why hyper-smoothed AI faces feel unsettling. It's called the uncanny valley, and it's well studied. A slightly crooked nose, textured skin, a scar, an asymmetrical smile. These don't just fail to hurt you. They're doing active work making you recognizable in a crowded group photo. Solution here is almost insultingly simple. Stop trying to erase every non-symmetrical thing about your face. Grow the stubble instead of shaving it into oblivion. Skip the flawless skin filter energy in your grooming routine. Your flaws are not bugs. They're your face's fingerprint, and fingerprints are, by definition, the thing that makes you identifiable. And before you spiral about whichever specific feature you've hated since middle school, the ears, the gap tooth, the nose that has opinions of its own, remember that the feature you're most self-conscious about is very often the exact one someone else describes as the thing I noticed first. In a good way, not because they're being nice, because distinctiveness is doing more work for you than you've been giving it credit for. So charm and structure both live on your face permanently, whether you're having a good day or a bad one. But here's the twist. Two guys with the identical jaw and the identical interesting nose can still get read completely differently within the same 5 seconds. And neither of them can point to a single physical feature that explains why. Factor 3. Expression. Now here's where it gets interesting, because this is the one factor that changes literally overnight. No gym, no dentist, no skincare routine required. A genuine smile, what researchers call a Duchenne smile, engages the muscles around your eyes, not just your mouth. This is well-documented, replicated research. People can subconsciously detect a fake smile in a fraction of a second, and they rate genuine ones as significantly warmer and more attractive, even when they can't say why. The flip side, also well supported. Chronic tension, a clenched jaw, constantly raised, resting anxious face, eyebrows, or, and I say this with love, too much Botox, all remove the exact micro movements that make a face read as alive instead of posed. You end up looking permanently, mildly offended at a wedding you didn't want to attend. Solution-wise, this is the cheapest fix on the entire list. Better sleep and lower baseline stress visibly loosen the small muscles around your eyes and jaw within days. You don't need a treatment plan. You need to stop clenching your face like it owes you money. Try this the next time you catch yourself mid-conversation. Unclench your jaw on purpose. Drop your shoulders, and let your eyebrows actually move when you talk, instead of holding them in permanent LinkedIn headshot mode. It feels ridiculous for about 10 seconds. Then it just feels like your face again. The twist, Marco's secret. Which brings us back to Marco. Here's what actually changed for him. And it lines up with real research on gaze behavior and perceived confidence. He started holding eye contact a beat longer, and this is the important part. He started being the one who looked away first, on his own terms, instead of flinching away out of nerves. Same face, same jaw he spent 4 years fighting with. The difference raters and real people consistently pick up on isn't the structure at all. It's whether someone's eyes move like they're in control of the room, or like they're bracing to get caught looking. A jaw doesn't get you remembered. A held gaze, ended on your terms instead of your nerves, does more work in 2 seconds than 4 years of jawline exercises ever will. Marco didn't need a new face. He needed to stop performing nervousness with his eyes every time someone looked at him for longer than a second. So, in order, cheapest to hardest, fix your sleep, stop erasing your asymmetries, drop the facial fat if you actually want the structure to show, and practice holding eye contact 1 beat longer before you're the one who chooses to look away. Notice what's not on that list. Nothing here requires surgery, a $200 skincare stack, or a jaw device. The most expensive thing on this list is a gym membership you probably already have. Skip the $40 jawline gadget. Marco's still got the box in a drawer somewhere, unopened, like a monument to a problem he never actually had. Which one of these 4 are you already doing wrong?